Welcome back to Brennan's Executive Insights. I'm Nick Sone, Chief Customer Officer at Brennan. Today, we're talking about a really important topic, cybersecurity. We have seen a huge increase in the number of breaches over the last 12 months and some really significant events here in Australia. It is affecting all of our customers and it's affecting everyone in the Australian economy. It's a really important topic at the board level and today we're joined by Brennan's Head of Cybersecurity, Daniel Hayes. Daniel, welcome.
Thanks, Nick. It's great to be here.
So cybersecurity is a top priority for most executives. What advice would you give to our customers in trying to understand their current security posture?
It's a good question, Nick. My advice to our customers and their managing teams within those customers is that security is a combination of really simple and fundamental things. Good security hygiene is still the most important thing we can practice today. But at the same time, it's a question for an organisation of the level of risk that their environment carries for them and the way they go about doing their business. And it's important to understand the risks that are inherent to an organisation within the industry that they operate in.
And so when you think about managing security on a day-to-day basis, how much of it is an ongoing management and thinking about it each and every day?
It's 100% an ongoing process, Nick. There's no doing security once and then leaning back in a relaxed manner. Security is a process where we need to assess our risk on a continual basis, check our progress on a continual basis, and be continually evolving and restructuring what we're doing to stay one step ahead of the attackers.
And so do you have a view of where you think the biggest attack vector might be from? I've heard the saying that the hackers aren't hacking in, they're logging in. It's kind of scary.
It's a very accurate saying, Nick. We see the attackers coming armed with usernames and passwords and credentials which just work. So they don't need to necessarily execute these huge advanced attacks on our infrastructure. They come with the passwords. And so for that reason, the biggest attack surface and the biggest attack target are the people within our organisations and mistakes that people might make, sometimes through carelessness, sometimes through lack of awareness.
You know, I think you'll probably tell me that the end user training and the awareness training is part of the defence that we need to put up as an industry.
That is absolutely what I would say. There's any number of metrics out there which talk about up to 90% of breaches being caused by people doing something unexpected, and so therefore it's important to train people, to equip them with the knowledge that they need to detect and avoid a potential security incident.
Okay, so the awareness training is obviously trying to prevent the attacks from happening, but every now and then they're going to occur. So what's next?
It's important, Nick, that even when a user does make a mistake or do the wrong thing or somehow get tricked into giving away some credentials, that we support them through controls and technology, maybe on the network or on the endpoints, to lessen the impact of a potential security incident. This might be through methods of detection and control of malware in an environment. And so for that reason, that detection and response mechanism is very important for organisations.
So you recently hosted a roundtable for some of our customers and you talked in detail about the culture of security. Can you talk me through that?
Yeah, we did, Nick, and we had a great chance to explore ideas with 7 or 8 of our key customers to understand their way they go about developing a real culture, not just of the individuals and the employees within their business, but from a board all the way down through, to the individuals that do the day-to-day work for an organisation. And resoundingly, the consensus amongst the group was that it is important to get that end-to-end support and culture throughout the business that runs all the way through from awareness and management of security risks through to an incident response and containment exercise, heaven forbid.
So outside of the obvious, when we see big cyber attacks, there are other drivers that are causing customers and other businesses in the Australian economy to rethink their cybersecurity stance. What are some of those drivers?
There's a few, Nick, and those really large ones that we've all seen and heard about are certainly triggers for many people to start a conversation about security. But in addition to those, we're seeing organisations across the spectrum coming to us with regulatory requirements because of the industry they may be in, and some of the more obvious ones are APRA's CPS 234 requirement. If you're a government organisation or in a supply chain, you may be required to conform to the Essential 8. So we're seeing a lot of activity driven by those requirements. We're also seeing activity driven, thankfully, by a genuine desire for organisations to improve their security posture and to reduce the risks that they're exposed to.
So Daniel, it's a really large topic, cybersecurity. Before we close, do you have any final thoughts?
It is a big topic and we've covered a few of the key areas today, Nick. My final thoughts and perspective, I guess, on this is that the attackers that are looking to break into our businesses are really motivated people, and they don't stop and they don't rest. They're very opportunistic, and so it's critical for all of us at every level in an organisation to consider how we can identify the risks that our organisation and ourselves face, to address those risks through putting in some controls, and then to consider how we might need to respond to an attack when it takes place, whether that's through financial motivation or commercial motivation or anything else.
It's scary stuff, isn't it? I guess it's never too late to start thinking about or improve your security posture.
It's never too late.
Really interesting topic. Thank you very much for joining me and sharing your thoughts on cybersecurity. Make sure you tune in next time for another exciting topic in our Executive Insights series.